episode 384. It is the grand finale of WrestleMania 39, WrestleMania Sunday. A surprise return. Who are the Raw Women's Champion and Intercontinental Champion? Who survived Hell in a Cell? And who walked out of the WrestleMania main event as undisputed Universal Champion? All this and much more right here, right now. 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Welcome, Wrestling Fanatics. 360 Wrestling Fanatic special WrestleMania episode. It is night 2, WrestleMania Sunday. Lance Brock here, live once again right after WrestleMania 39. 2 nights in a row, 2 live episodes of 360 Wrestling Fanatic in a row to talk about night 2 of WrestleMania 39. Thank you everyone for listening right here on Spreaker or wherever you are listening to this podcast right now. And I'm going to talk all about night 2 of WrestleMania 39. But first, I just want to mention earlier today, I did get home in time to see most of the Independent Wrestling Hall of Fame on Fight Plus, as that was the final part of GCW's The Collective, and very good show. When I tuned in, it was already in progress, and Jimmy Jacobs was giving his speech. I didn't see it, but I know that he was going to be inducted by one half of the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley. And then after Jimmy Jacobs was cheerleader Melissa, also known as Alyssa Flash, and I'm sure you remember her as Raisha Saeed, the handler of Awesome Kong in TNA. Very good worker, gave a really good speech. And Mike Modest also going in, and I guess you could call the headliner of this year's Independent Wrestling Hall of Fame, the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels, was inducted by his longtime friend and tag team partner, The Addiction, The Influence, or Bad Influence, I should say, and SCU, Frankie Kazarian. Definitely well deserving. Definitely belongs in just about any pro wrestling Hall of Fame. Christopher Daniels gave an excellent speech was very good. Big fan of Christopher Daniels, have been for a long time. And before I get into WrestleMania, just want to ask, feel free if you want, let me know what your favorite match or moment or even your favorite show of this past weekend. Was it WrestleMania Night 1, WrestleMania Night 2, Impact in New Japan, Multiverse United, Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor, one of the GCW shows? Let me know what your favorite show, your favorite match, your favorite moment, whichever. And also, if you're listening to this and you are actually there in Los Angeles for WrestleMania, let me know what events you attended to, what it was like being there live. 360 Wrestling Podcast at gmail.com. Send in a report if you want. That'd be pretty neat. And now let's get into WrestleMania Sunday. We kick things off once again. SoFi Stadium. The commentators again, just like Night 1, Michael Cole and Corey Graves. And we see a singer, I've never heard of him, but his name is Jimmy Allen, and he sings America the Beautiful, does a pretty good job. And we see the host of WrestleMania and the dog father of WrestleMania, Snoop Dogg. And they welcome everyone to WrestleMania again and kick off the show. Our opening match, Brock Lesnar versus Omos with MVP in his corner. Luckily, this match, like I talked about this morning on GMWF, would be best if it was kept short. And luckily it was 4 minutes, 59 seconds. Brock hits the F5 on Omos, just as I expected, gets the win. Not bad. I'm not going to complain too much. Like I said, it was kept under 5 minutes, so not going to complain. It was fine. Definitely not bad at all. And the WrestleMania Women's Showcase is next. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Natalya and Shotzi Blackheart. No taking care of business tank, though, for their entrance. First, Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Rousey gets the win for her team. 8 minutes, 23 seconds. Next up, we see the winner of the 2023 Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, Bobby Lashley, come out with the trophy. He didn't do much. He just kind of came out on the stage and posed with it a little bit and then left. There was talks about him maybe even having a match against, I know it's 3 letters, but I forgot what it was, that YouTube guy that helped Logan Paul in his match against Seth Rollins last night, but I know it's 3 letters, but I just have no idea what they are now. That YouTube guy but that did not happen. So no match for Bobby Lashley on the actual WrestleMania card. And next up, the Intercontinental Championship is on the line. Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and the WWE Intercontinental Champion Gunther. Great match here. Could be definitely one of a candidate for match of the night. I went on Twitter after I saw a lot of people saying maybe even one of the best matches of all time. I don't know if I would go that far, but definitely one of my picks for the match of the night. Really awesome match. At one point, Sheamus and McIntyre are both hitting Gunther with the chops on the chest, and definitely hard hitting, but in the end it is Gunther pinning Drew McIntyre at 16 minutes 35 seconds. Still the Intercontinental Champion Gunther. Very good match, and it was an awesome match, definitely. Gunther retaining will be interesting now to see who his next challenger will be for that IC championship. I don't think it's going to be either McIntyre or Sheamus, either one of them, since he has beat both of them in a triple threat match now. So I'm guessing that he will move on to somebody new, but who knows though. And next up, the Raw Women's Championship is on the line. Asuka challenging against Bianca Belair. Asuka makes her entrance, and then Bianca Belair, who comes out with some little girls. They said on the press conference after Mania that I want to say they're either it's 7 or 8 between 12, and I'm going to say I'm a big fan of dancing or anything, but these girls did a great job, and unfortunately there was some sad news. Triple H mentioned this on the press conference that one of the girls that was a part of the dance entrance, her mother died this morning, but she stayed and did WrestleMania. Very sad news for that little girl. And good match here. Asuka and Bianca Belair. At one point at the finish, Asuka goes for the miss, but Belair moves out of the way, and Belair gets the win at 16 minutes. Very good match here, I thought. And now, I don't know why I started to say this before, but now The Miz and Snoop Dogg are out again, and they announced tonight's attendance, and tonight's is 81,395. The total entrance of both, or attendance of both nights of WrestleMania, 161,892. And The Miz says he has to get something off his chest to Snoop Dogg. He's upset about him putting him in that match. The whole thing with Pat McAfee yesterday. And then we see a surprise return. Shane McMahon and Snoop Dogg makes the match. Shane McMahon versus The Miz, which is very short, which I didn't expect it to last long anyway. But the reason it ended so quickly, Shane McMahon getting injured and hurting his leg. But right here, when it first happened, I thought maybe it might have been a work. But apparently, after this happened, what I read is that this was a real injury, unfortunately, to Shane McMahon. And Snoop Dogg and The Miz, they came up with this right then and there. And they just called it in the ring. Snoop Dogg knocking The Miz out. And then tried a people's elbow. And was not the prettiest people's elbow you'll ever see. But have to give him, like they say, an A for effort. He tried. And yes, the injury to Shane McMahon is real, unfortunately. I just watched the press conference before I started the podcast just now, and Triple H said that Shane has a torn quad, unfortunately, and if anybody knows what having a torn quad is like, it's Triple H. He has had 2 of them. So, just want to send a speedy recovery to Shane McMahon. I don't know if the plan was for him, if he's going to be back full time or anything, or if this was just a one-time appearance for WrestleMania and that's it. It could have been, but it's just a little before he showed up on WrestleMania. Actually, I did get a news alert on the Ringside News app that said he was spotted at WrestleMania. And even when I saw that, though, I thought he could have just been backstage visiting, but no, he did show up on camera, and it's good to see him back, but it's just too bad because this unfortunate injury. And now it is time for Hell in a Cell. WWE Hall of Famer, the Rated R Superstar Edge, taking on the Demon Finn Balor. Good match and pretty brutal. Finn Balor getting busted open and he is needing some staples in the match. And Edge hits the concerto for the win, 18 minutes 11 seconds. Like I said, it was a good match. It wasn't like one of those real crazy Hell in a Cell matches where something happens where both guys can get out of the cage and go up top, get thrown off or something like that. The cage, or the cell I should say, was not opened at all during the match. Nobody got out. Edge defeating Finn Balor. And now we get the new Hall of Famers in the 2023 class of the WWE Hall of Fame. And now it is time for the main event, WrestleMania 39 Night 2, WrestleMania Sunday. And people are probably getting sick of me saying that all the time. But it is now time for the main event, though. The undisputed Universal Championship is on the line. The American Nightmare Cody Rhodes taking on the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns. Cody, pretty good entrance here. And Roman Reigns, his entrance, he has 6 people on the stage playing the piano. And he makes his way to the ring. He's being accompanied by Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa. Starts off pretty good, and then of course during the match, Solo interferes a couple times, and then finally he is caught by the referee and ejected to the back, and then Cody and Roman go at it, near fall after near fall. Looks like Cody is coming very close to defeating Roman and becoming the new Universal Champion. But then Heyman has the referee distracted, and then we see Solo make his way back into the ring. Comes in, hits Cody, and Roman defeats Cody Rhodes at 34 minutes, 31 seconds to remain the undisputed Universal Champion. I thought this may be an unpopular opinion, but I'm glad Roman Reigns retained, defeated Cody tonight. And then, like I said, I watched the WWE Wrestlemania press conference. There was one last night, but I didn't know. They didn't talk about it, or at least, unless I missed it anyway. They didn't talk about it during the actual show, so I thought they weren't having one. I just turned it off and started doing the podcast last night. But apparently there was one. And tonight we heard from the Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair, after her successful title defense against Asuka. And then we hear from the undisputed Universal Champion, the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. And he is asked about the rumors. I don't know if they're really rumors, or I don't know just yet. But it's being reported that a sale is being finalized, and it could even be final as soon as tomorrow. Who knows? But the company right now, they're saying, is buying WWE, is in Denver. I don't know too much about it. All I know is they own UFC, which I am not a fan of. And they're saying, if this is true, something about a merger between WWE and UFC. I guess they said something about the stock market that would help the stock quite a bit if that did happen. And this is just me, might be another unpopular opinion, but definitely not a fan of UFC or any kind of MMA. I'm not a fan of it. I'm a pro wrestling guy. I have tried watching UFC before, and I just couldn't get into it. I tried watching Bellator and maybe another MMA promotion, I think. I just couldn't get into it. Just not for me, MMA. And that is it for WrestleMania Sunday, night 2 of WrestleMania 39. Just want to thank everyone for tuning in. Like I said, the news broke today about the WWE sale possibly being finalized tomorrow. And I'm going to cut this episode. I know it's shorter than yesterday's recap show, but for some reason I'm starting to feel real tired, and I know it's only after 1, but starting to feel real tired. I apologize for keeping it short, and if I forgot or left out anything important, I do plan on doing an episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic tomorrow, or I could talk about it if I remember on Good Morning Wrestling Fans tomorrow morning, the Monday morning episode. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, the email is 360wrestlingpodcasts@gmail.com. If you have questions, comments, or suggestion, anything, just let me know at that email, 360wrestlingpodcasts@gmail.com. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll be back tomorrow morning for GMWF. Good night everyone. I am Lance, and I am a wrestling fanatic. Happy WrestleMania.